In this video series, I'm going to show you how you can watch all of your favorite TV shows for free. Now, this does not involve torrents like you might expect. However, having said that, I will show you in the last video one place where you can do torrenting easily and get all the stuff you want. But what we're going to talk about here is websites where you can get your TV and how to prepare your computer. Now, the first thing, of course, we need to do is prepare our computer. What I mean by that is we need to add certain plugin to our browser to stop ads, and we also need to set up a VPN. Now, VPN is not particularly for privacy because we're not really doing anything wrong, but VPNs help you avoid any type of downloads that are malware and stuff like that. So that's why we're going to use it. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about getting the plugin installed. So I'm using Firefox here, but you can do the same thing with Chrome. So you should be using Firefox or Chrome. Okay, so what you want to do is we want to go to Settings here, and then we're going to want to go to Add-ons. And then you want to install this one called AdBlock Plus. Okay, so you can just go to Get Add-ons, and then you can do a search up here. Okay, so it's featured plugin most likely. So down here where it says See All, click on that. Okay, here we are, AdBlock Plus. This is the one we want here. Okay, so what you want to do is just go over here and then add to Firefox. You'll see that it's adding it on. So install. Okay, so it says it was installed successfully. So let's go back over here to add-ons and my add-ons. And I already had this before, so it will appear in your add-ons over here. Okay, now if you go in here to options, you don't have to change anything in here, but you can make a donation if you want. The default automatic updates is fine. And then down here, there's some other things here. I would just leave everything as it is, and then you can disable it or remove it here. But this is what we want. So we got this part done now, and we're all set to go with that. So this is very important because some of the sites you get your TV shows from throw a lot of ads, and it makes it almost impossible to use on some of them. So it's a good idea to have this installed. It'll also help you block ads on anything else you're doing, so you don't get a whole pile of ads every time you go to a site that might be putting a bunch of ads on there. Okay, so it's a really nice plugin to have. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at is setting up a virtual private network, or VPN as you might hear it referred to. Now, there are different ways we can look at VPNs, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the freeway. Not the freeway where cars are, but the freeway to get VPN. Okay, so there are a lot of choices out there, and I'm going to show you what I like to use. Now, there are two different ways you can do VPN. You can use OpenVPN, which is the most secure, and you can use PPTP VPN. Okay, so I'm going to go to a site now and show you how I like to set it up. The site I'm going to refer you to is called VPN Book. You get free VPN here, and you get a free OpenVPN account. Now, if we go over here, and it says free VPN up here, and in here it'll give you the two options. We have free PPTP VPN, and we have free OpenVPN. Okay, now what you're going to want is to use one of these with the red in them, because these will let you access websites. So it doesn't matter which one you want to use. If you want to use US, if you want to use Canada, or any of these other ones here, whichever one you want to use. This is for PPTP. You have the same options over here for OpenVPN. Okay, so we're going to set up the PPTP VPN connection first. And to do that, we're going to go to the control panel. Now, if you're using Windows 8, you can also get to it by clicking on the Internet Strength indicator on the bottom of your taskbar, and it'll bring it up to Windows 8 style where you can do it there. But I'm going to show you this style so that people that are using Windows 7 can follow along as well. So all you want to do is go to Control Panel and Network and Internet, and then you want to go to Internet Options. You'll get a window like this, and then you want to go over to Connections, okay, and then what you want to do is add VPN. Okay, so what we're going to do is name this. So let's go back to the website here. And let's say we're going to use the US one. So what you want to do is copy this, usaipvpn.com. So we'll copy. So we're going to call this VPN Book US or something like that. Name it whatever you think you want to name it. So paste that in here. And then the destination name is US VPN book. Okay, so this is where you're putting the internet address, which is the one we got from over here, and then just a description here. Now you can remember credentials. The only problem with this is the password changes every once in a while, but it's no big deal. Let's create. Okay, so we have the US VPN book set up here. Let's go to settings now. And what we want to do is put use automatic settings here. Click OK. Now let's click OK here. Okay, so come back to the network and internet, and you'll see here connect to a network. Click on that, and then you'll have a pop-up on the side of your screen if you're using Windows 8. Okay, so you get something like this. It'll say networks. So this is the Windows 8 one. I can't show you Windows 7 because I don't have it, but Windows 7 would have continued on the screen like you had before. Okay, so you'll see up here your VPN connections here, so any that you have in here. So you click on this and click connect. Now it's going to come up and ask you for a username and a password. So if you go back to your website, you'll be able to see them on there and put them in. Okay, so VPN book is going to be the username. And the password you can get off the site. I'll show you where in a sec. So I'll just paste the password in there. And then we click OK. Okay, so now it'll connect up. And there, it's now connected. So if I go back to the browser here, we'll be able to check our IP address, and we should be somewhere else. So let's just go and do that. Okay, now before we go and check our IP address, I want to show you where you can get the password. So on the VPN book page, you can click on free VPN here, which is actually where we were before. And then you can roll down and you'll see it at the bottom. So right here. Now having said that, this isn't correct this time. They forgot to change it. So let's go back to their home page here. And then if you just roll down a little bit, you'll see these tabs here. So you hit PPTP and roll down. You'll see it's right here. So username VPN book, which is always the same. And then there's the correct password. Okay, now let's go look at our IP address and see where we are located according to our internet connection, at least where it appears we're connected from. Okay, so if you just type into Google my IP address location, or find my IP location, unless you have one that you like to use. So it gives us our IP address here, and that is not mine, so it has changed it for me. So let's go here. No, that one's got some sort of intermediate step that I don't want to take. Okay, so here we go. So this is showing me near Milwaukee somewhere. So that definitely isn't where I am. So I now know that I am connected up to a VPN. Now, the other way you can do it is to use OpenVPN. Now, OpenVPN is a little bit more secure, however, it is a little more complex to set up. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use OpenVPN in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can install OpenVPN and use OpenVPN for your VPN connection. Now, the reason you might want to use this is it's more secure than PPTP VPN. Okay, so let's go over to downloads. So I just search for OpenVPN on here. Go to downloads. Now you need to get the right one here. So depending on your operating system, where you're going to download this. So I'm using Windows 64-bit, Vista and above. Okay, so we want to download this and we'll save. All right, now we're going to run it. So just click on it. And we'll let it install here. So agree. Now it's going to install a bunch of components here. Just click next. It's going to choose a path here. Just click next and just let her go here. It will take a minute or two. It's got to install some services and so on onto your machine. So we'll just let that finish. Okay, so it says completed. Click next. And then we have show README and then open VPN GUI. So let's just open it up. Now there really isn't hardly anything to this. Okay, so it's just a simple little thing like this, and you don't have to change anything. It says use an OpenVPN config settings. General is the language. Now you may need to change this, and then about. This is just what it is. Okay, now I'm going to actually stop OpenVPN. Let's go down to your taskbar, and all your icons will come up, and then just right-click on it and exit. Now the reason I'm doing that is because we need to add some config files, and that's where we need to go back to our free VPN here. And then you can go down to OpenVPN. Now what you need to do is pick one of these config files here. So we're going to download the US one again, so we'll click on that. Okay, we'll save. Now one other thing, this needs to be run in admin mode or as an administrator. So to do that, go to the OpenVPN shortcut and right click on it, and then you want to go to properties. Okay, and then you want, let's go to compatibility here, and then you need to go down here and check where it says run program as an administrator. So make sure that's checked. Click OK. So every time now that you go to run it, you're going to get a box coming up asking you for permission as an administrator. But that needs to be done or the routes don't work right. Okay, now you're just going to open this. Just click on it and Explorer will open it. Now what you want to do is just copy all of these. So you select them all and then copy. I'll close this. Now you need to go to the directory where OpenVPN is installed. Okay, so that is on the C drive. And then you want to go to Program Files. And then here you'll see OpenVPN somewhere. Go in there, and then you'll see Config. Okay, and this is where you want to paste them. So just say continue and do for all. And it's going to copy the config files into here. Okay, so now we're done with this. Now those config files have two sets of things. They have the UDP and the TCP connections. Okay, so if you can test them all, try the UDP ones first. If not, you can use TCP port 80. Port 80 is a widely used port. It's used for TCP connections from your client, your FTP client, for instance. Okay, so what you do is you need to go to your taskbar again, and then when you right-click on the icon there, it will bring up the options for you. So let me show you. All right, so here we are now. Actually, you need to reopen it, I guess. I forgot to do that part, so we'll open this. Now you'll see it down here now. So we're going to right click on that, and then you'll see the different ones that you can connect to. Okay, so I want to use US, and then this is TCP 443, TCP 80. This is UDP 25,000 and UDP 53. Now your router or modem may keep you from using UDP depending on how you set, but let's try that. So we'll go connect. Now you need to put in the username, so that's again VPN book. Okay, and the password. So you can go and get it from their website again, which is here. I just lost my window there. Okay, so we'll paste it in here and click OK. Now, if you're using Windows 8 and it keeps coming up with a problem where it's trying to restart the, I think it's called the, where is it here? Anyway, it's trying to restart something. There's a problem there, and I'll show you how you can fix that. So let's just cancel this because we're having a problem there. All right, so we're going to go back to the control panel now. Okay, now what we want to do is go to the device manager. Okay, so you have hardware and sound, and then you have device manager, which is over here. So we're going to go in there. And then network adapters, tap, right click in properties, and advanced. Now this doesn't happen on Windows 7. It's happening on Windows 8. I'm going to set it back to application control. And the other thing you need to do, and this is really strange as well, you need to go back to your control panel and you need to open the network and sharing center. Let's go back here. And we want to go to network and internet and network and sharing center. And then you should go to change adapter settings. You just got to open this once and it seems to work. Now this is a bug in Windows 8. Again, if you're not using Windows 8, none of this should be necessary. All right, so I'm going to try and connect again here. Okay, so I'm going to try TCP 80 this time. So VPN book. And password. Okay. And there, it's connected. Okay, so at the bottom off the screen, it told me that I have an IP address assigned. So what we're going to do is we're going to go have a look again. Okay, so I went back to the same site again, and you see that I'm located near Chicago here, as far as anything on the internet is concerned. Okay, so I now have two different ways set up that I can attach to VPN. I can use the PPTP connection that I set up in the last video, or if you want to use something that's more secure, you can use OpenVPN. Either way you want to go, it's a good idea to set one of these up. Now let me just show you one more really easy way you can get a VPN connection for free. Okay, and you can use something called CyberGhost. There's a free package on here. It offers actually really good amount of bandwidth for free, like up to 1 gig a day. And it's fast enough to run Netflix on, so you won't have any problems that way either. You can also pick one of the more expensive plans if you want. If you're going to use torrents, then you're going to need one of these more expensive monthly plans. You don't have to particularly buy it from here. But we're not concerned about torrents right now. So I'm going to download the free one here. And we'll save that. Now, I'm connected up through OpenVPN right now, so I'm going to shut that down. And then we can continue. So let me just show you how you control the OpenVPN before we go ahead to this next one here. All right, so down here, we go to this, and you'll see that the one we're connected to has a check mark beside it, and then over here is disconnect. Now you can also do show status, brings up the log here, and then let's go back in there again. Of course, every time you click on it, it comes back out. You can view the log, you can edit the config file, and you can change the password. Okay, so we'll just disconnect. All right, now we're ready to run CyberGhost. So I'll just go, oh, it's still downloading here. So we'll just wait for that to finish. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, so you should read through the agreement here, terms of service, and agree to it. Or if you don't agree to it, don't install it. Now this is going to be the easiest way to do this. It has its downsides, which I'll show you in a sec. Basically, its ads come up every time you try and run it. But you can just close them and keep on going. It doesn't actually put ads into your browser. You can also put this onto your smartphone if you want to do that. Okay, so let's open up CyberGhost now. Okay, so it comes up like this. It shows you where you are. Over here, you can the simulated country, automatic, and simulated IP address automatic. That's really all you need. Now, if you want to be sure that you're not going to be blocked out of something, you can click here and you can change the simulated country. Okay, so you can pick through whichever one you want to use here, including the USA, but it doesn't matter for the most part. You may want to use something like Russia because it may be blocked, or some of them may be blocking sites. So you can pick any of these you want or just use automatic. So I'll just use automatic. We'll click this. And now it's going to connect us somewhere. Since it's on automatic, we don't know where, but it's going to change our IP address. So it's got our current IP address in this little window here. And now we just wait for it to connect. Okay, so you see it's connecting us somewhere. It's going overseas here. And so Kiev, Ukraine. Okay, so now we're connected to Kiev, Ukraine. All right, so we can reduce this. Now let's go look at our IP address. Okay, so here's our IP address, and it has this as Kiev, Ukraine. Okay, so now we're all protected from any nasty things that might be coming in. Okay, in the next video, we're going to go and find TV shows that we can watch for free. In this video, we're going to go over a few places where you can find the TV shows that you want to watch. Now, on this website and the one after this that I'm going to show you, the TV shows are up to date hours later or sometimes the next day, so you don't have to wait very long. So these are going to be mostly US TV shows. in Canada. You may find some from Britain as well. Okay, so this is the home page here. So this one's called watch-tvseries.net. I'm going to give you the URLs to these in the documentation. Okay, so these are the most recent episodes that were posted. So you can see the date that they were posted here. And then the name of the series here, and then the episode. Over to the right here, we have the most watched. So Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, Doctor Who, etc. So those are the top 13. Okay, so let's just click on the Big Bang Theory, for instance. So on this site, it shows you the last few episodes over here. And then if you roll down, it gives you a synopsis and people's comments. And then you'll see all the seasons here. So season 1. And then this was the unreleased pilot here, which is kind of neat if you've never seen that. And then you see all the episodes for season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. Okay, so there you go. That's how you find them. Now, there's also a search function up here, so you can search for the TV programs, and they're also alphabetical here, so if you put your mouse on these, it will bring up the different TV shows that you can find. So let me just play one here. Let's click on this one. Okay, now be careful when you're in here. If you click on this, it opens another site. You need to click down here. That isn't particularly true on all of them. See, you have different links up here. So if one of them's dead, you can try these other links until you find it. Okay, so this is linking to different spots where this has been uploaded. So just click here, and it will go through. Just download a little bit of it and buffer it. If you want to maximize it, you click here, it'll go full screen, and there you go. So if you have your computer hooked to your TV, you can just do this full screen, and you can watch these right on your TV.
216-420-1989, and that little lady is Pi to 1,000 places.
Okay, so there it is, and if I click here, it just went full screen. Okay, so that's a great site. You can watch most of the popular TV shows here, actually all of them. There isn't anything missing, really, that's on air right now. And there's also some that, of course, many that have gone off the air that are on here, and you can watch all of them. So 10 Things I Hate About You, for instance, that's off the air. But you will find all of the episodes on here. So we have, there we go. Okay, so that's one of the sites. Now let's go to another site here. Okay, so this one is called tvshow7.eu, and it's sort of the same idea. We have the different days here. It'll show the last 2 days in the current day and then days ahead. So if we look at Wednesday, it shows what was posted on this site on Wednesday. So the TV shows and the episode over here. Okay, so just like that. And then up here we have the different TV shows by alphabetical order. Okay, and then down here also shows you the ones that were recently posted. All right, so let's go and just find one that's recently posted. That's the blacklist. So if we click on this now, this is the episode here. Okay, now on this site, your plugin, your AdBlock Plus, is working overtime. This site has lots of pop-ups. So you see the first thing, you have a big X over this video. That's because there's supposed to be an ad here, but it's been blocked. But it couldn't block the overlay. So just click on the X to get rid of the overlay. Okay, and then you'll across here you have the links for the different uploads where the videos are uploaded. So if you don't see one here, you can click on the different links. Okay, now again, sometimes if you click up here, you'll get an ad. So let's click down here and we'll see what happens here.
Previously on the blacklist.
Okay, and then so you see this one is...
You said that you were on official business when you encountered Mr. Ames on the ship.
So it might be a good idea to pause it and let it buffer a little bit, or try a different link here. Now if you get a different type of player, because the players will look different, then you may get a different playing experience. Okay, so you can try this one, see if it's any better. And if not, you can try link 3. There could be any number of links across depending on the series that you're trying to watch. Okay, and then again, you click on this and it goes full screen.
Previously on the
Volume here.
blacklist.
You said that you were on official business when you...
Okay, so you see that this one isn't playing that well. So you would want to pause it and let it buffer. You could also look on the other side I showed you to see if you get a better playing experience there. Okay, so it can vary widely depending on TV show and what servers are uploaded to. Okay, so there's 2 sites, and again, this one has A to Z list, and it has stuff from the past as well as current stuff. So you can go through here, and for instance, Ally McBeal hasn't been on for a long, long time, but you can go in here and you can check them out. See what episodes they have. Just roll down here. Okay, and then a little bit different layout. So we have seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You click on your season, then you find your episode you want to watch. Click on the episode, and then close the one ad overlay. Okay, now if it disappears like that, it means it's gone. So try a different one. And this is something you may run into, that it's been completely removed. And maybe none of the links will work. So you may not be able to watch all episodes. But you may be able to find it on one of the other sites. Okay, so here we go again with this type of player. So we'll see if this one works any better. Click. Okay, this is JW Player. This one usually works a little better. We'll see what happens here. Again, your control. So this is where you maximize it here. You can change your volume here. It's giving you the time of the episode. Okay, so it started to play. Now you see this little white line here. This is the show downloading, and usually it moves along a little faster than that. So you can tell this one's kind of slow. So you might want to let it buffer for a bit, maybe up to here, and then you can play the episode. So this is one of the downsides of doing it this way, is that sometimes they're on slow servers and you just might have to wait for a minute or two for things to come up. Okay, so those are a couple sites. Between those 2 sites, you should be able to find pretty much everything you want to watch. Now, let's talk about something else here. Now, another place you can find TV episodes to watch, of all places, is YouTube. Now, these are going to be older ones. For instance, Space 1999, this was a TV show from the 70s, 75 to 77, and all the episodes are here. So you just got to do a little searching, and you'll be able to find it. Now, there's lots of other ones. You just got to do a little bit of searching for them. Okay, so here's Home Improvement with Tim Allen. So the whole series is on here, all full episodes. Okay, all the seasons and all the episodes. So all you got to do is go into the search box here and type in something TV show. So let's say UFO TV show or series. Now there was in the 70s, this was also on TV. So let's see what it comes up with here. Okay, so there are the ways you can watch all the TV you want without having to resort to torrents. All right, so I haven't said that. In the next video, I'm going to show you a cool way that you can watch anything you want using torrents. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you something that's pretty shady. I don't condone it or suggest it or anything like that. You do this if you want, but it's all entirely up to you. If you are going to use these, I suggest that you use a VPN and not one of the VPNs I showed you, because they won't work. You need to have a VPN that allows torrents, and they will link to them from within the Popcorn Time software. So there's two different ones here. There's two different ones that have kind of run with the original. So you got popcorntime.io, and then you got popcorntime.se. Okay, for me, this SE one worked better. So all you got to do is go into the download here, and it just gives you some information on it here, and then you can download it. Now, it also can be downloaded to some smartphones. One of them, I think, will download to both smartphones or both platforms, Android and iOS, and one of them will only download to Android. Okay, so this one looks like it's only Android and Mac and Windows. Okay, so all you would do is download them. You could download both of them and see which one works for you. All right, so I'm going to open up Popcorn Time now. Okay, so here it is open up. Now currently I have the VPN CyberGhost open. So this may not work. It may show the database, but I won't be able to play while I have that up. Okay, so just wait for it to initialize. Okay, so you need to accept the terms of service, so you should read through those and accept. Okay, and then it brings up the interface here. Okay, so you have movies, and it's sorted by popularity, I think, right now. Yeah, it's sorted by popularity, so you can change the source, the sort by. You can change the genre, and then you have movies, TV series, and anime. So you see right here we have Interstellar, which was just released to DVD. Now if I click on that, it brings up the information about it. You can watch the trailer here. Now if I click watch now, it's not going to be able to connect because I'm going through Ghost VPN. It just won't do it. So it'll sit there like that. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to close Ghost VPN. Okay, so let's disconnect. Okay, so let's close this. Now, normally you would want to connect to a VPN that allows that. If you go over here, there's a little lock. If you click on that, it'll bring up a login page where you can log in to the VPN. Now, if you don't have one, you can do create account, and it brings you to a website of a provider that they suggest that will hide you. Okay, so it's $1 a month for the first month, and then $4.99 a month, or 12 months if you pay it all at once. Okay, and then it tells you all about it. Now, if you are going to use this Popcorn Time, I really suggest that you use a VPN, because really it is a little bit shady. So let's go back to here. Okay, so I'm on my ISP now with no VPN. So if I click watch now, you'll see that it's starting to download. And downloading. It's telling me how it's doing here. So it'll connect to different peers, and then it will start to play. Okay, so I'm just doing this for an example. I would have a VPN going if I was going to use this normally, but I just want to show you here how it works. So since it's on torrents, it works really quick. Goes out and uses the torrent system to get everything down to your computer very quickly. Okay, so it started to play now. Okay, so there it's going. And you can make that full screen. Actually, the controls are below the bottom of the screen here. Okay, so here's the controls I was talking about. So you got volume. This will make it full screen, and the size of the fonts, and the language here for any subtitles.
And I was a farmer, like everybody else back then.
Okay, so there it is. Now let's just click that X there and close that. Same thing with TV series. You can go to the TV series block here. It'll bring up them in order that you have up here. Okay, and all of these you can get off those other sites that I showed you, or pretty much all of these, if not all. I think all. So you don't really need to use this for TV shows. But it works the same way. You go up to the one you want here. Okay, and then you pick the episode, gives you a synopsis. You want to watch the episode, you click right there, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you can use torrenting easily to watch TV shows or movies. All right, so there you have it. There really isn't any reason to keep your cable connection anymore with all of this. Now, the other thing I do is I add a digital antenna, which brings in digital local channels so I can watch the news and so on. So between the digital antenna and the TV sites that I showed you and getting my computer all set up properly, I can now watch anything I want without having to subscribe to cable television.